Hi, I'm Mark Lynd. We're here at Netsync Studios. Today, I've got Ron Davis from Juniper here with me. We're going to talk a little bit about Juniper. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thanks, Mark. So, I lead the AI-driven enterprise specialist organization inside Juniper. Joined via the acquisition of Mist Systems in 2019 and been in the wireless and wired networking industry my entire career.
Fantastic. Ron, so, what is it that customers find exciting about Juniper? Is it something that they look forward to, something that they value, and why do they care?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, Mark. I think customers see innovation when they think of Juniper, right? We've had a long-standing success in the industry, and now really just attacking this enterprise market and enterprise customers just with this AI-powered, the thing that am I supposed to be looking at you? I'm looking at them.
Both.
Okay. Really innovation across the entire network stack using AI to provision and operate networks. Really the paradigm shift going from reactive to proactive network operations. I think that's the biggest shift we've seen.
Gotcha. So, one of the things, obviously innovation is a big thing right now, right? Because there's a lot of things going on in the world with remote work, the pandemic, the security issues that everybody's having, and being able to have something like AI, something that's powered, something that can help you be responsive and take care of your organization. Those are empowering things.
I think what we're seeing across the industry is people are in the IT space are being asked to do more with less. Mm-hmm. There's just more and more devices that are not only coming onto the network, but thought of as mission critical. Employees can't do their job, or doctors and nurses can't do what they need to do, and they're not growing IT staffs, they're not growing IT budgets. So I think it's a necessary progression for our industry.
Yeah, that's real interesting, because one of the things we hear all the time, especially in SLED, for example, right? Same with commercial and enterprise, but you really hear is we have to do more with less. We either can't get the people, or it's very difficult because our attack surface has grown, our threat vectors have multiplied, the things we're being asked to do now are so much more than before, and the scrutiny is much heavier about where we spend our money, what investments we make, and what it does for our organization. So having that in mind, what is it that Juniper provides that customers really want? What is the thing that's going out the door that's really helping customers today? Or where do they start? Maybe is a better way to frame it.
That's a great question. I mean, I think we have a variety of different insertion points for when customers might become interested in Juniper, right? Whether it's in the midst of a planned refresh, or whether we tend to get into a lot of engagements where maybe there's a site that's having a lot of trouble with the network. We'll drop in where there's an opportunity for digital engagement, or that type of indoor location type stuff. The Wi-Fi type stuff based around the Mist architecture tends to be kind of the least of a hill to climb to get there, right? But switching WAN all the way up into the data center, around Apstra as well. Sure. Lots of different insertion points.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm with our customers all the time. I hear Mist all the time, right? Obviously people put a lot of value on that. And I think because of remote work, because of Wi-Fi, because of all the things that are going on, it's important. Right, a lot of times that's one of those threat vectors that's not covered. It'll get you in trouble.
And I think one of the biggest innovations there, and one of the things that customers just immediately respond to, is this notion of the AI engine and Marvis, who's our virtual network assistant. And the idea from this came from, if we have all this information that we're correlating, why can't we take usable outcomes from that? Every vendor presents tons and tons of information in a dashboard, but you don't really know what to do to improve the performance of your network and make your users happier. And we've built this Marvis tool almost where it could be a help desk tool where non-technical people can now resolve very technical issues.
Wow, that's super interesting. You hear a lot about AI and machine learning, but the practical uses of it and what the real value is to customers, sometimes that's a little harder to discern. The way you just described it, I think most of the audience is going to get that right away.
Yeah, it's tough. In our industry, there's a lot of AI this and machine learning that. And separating the wheat from the chaff, as they say, is a little tougher. But the best way for a user to become familiar with Juniper and what our AI-driven enterprise team is doing is sign up for a demo, right? We do a demo every Wednesday that kind of shows the whole suite of products, led by the star of the show, Marvis.
That's fantastic. I love it. Marvis, Jarvis. I get yes. For some of those Marvel folks, they probably really like that, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, so that kind of leads me to my last question. What else? What hits you? What do you talk when you talk to customers? What jumps out at you about what Juniper does? What value point? What use? What drives that? I'm always fascinated by that, because when you go back and ask people afterwards why they bought, they almost always have a singular thing that's got them there. Got them over the hump, or was the reason why they initially looked at it, or reason why they did a POC.
Yeah, I think I have a good answer for this, Mark. You could talk about technology all day long, or you can talk about AI, or the different standards of technologies, but really the thing that makes Juniper different is understanding the client experience and the user experience. It's all user-driven networks. So all legacy technologies are based around the health of the infrastructure. Mm-hmm. We really put a focus on the people that are using the network, that depend on it for their jobs. What's their experience, and how can we make it better?
Interesting. I got to tell you, I've been doing this for 25 years. I don't think I've ever heard that part. It's almost electric.
It's exciting.
And the value as it. Because as a former CIO and CISO and been on that side most of my life, that was important.
I wish I could sell you something.
It's still early. Well, anyway, Ron, I really appreciate you joining me today. And I thank you for telling me and the audience a little bit more about Juniper.
Thanks, Mark. Thank you for having me.